Welcome in to this week's episode of Untold Stories, a weekly D&D campaign set in the world of Elvoria. We are back with these wonderful humans. I think this is the first time in a while we've had everyone at the start, which is quite fun. But we're here to roll some dice, attempt some questionable accents, and hopefully tell a decent story. Some initial announcements just to get them going. The KOBOLD Warren, first adventure that I've actually produced, published, and put up for sale, is available on the DMsGuild. Something I just wanted to do this year, and it's useful when these lot skip an entire dungeon that you can then republish it and reuse it for something else. Perfect for kind of dropping into any low-level campaign between like major arcs. So there'll be a link in the description. You can head over to the DMsGuild and pick that up for yourself. Also, there is 200 Slightly Useful Items, which is another Runic Press book. If you're looking for those magic items in between the trinkets table in the PHB and common magic items, 200 of those in there for you with a bunch of stupid ideas. There will be more of these coming out. We have a Christmas one coming out some point this month, possibly. But yes, it's already a silver bestseller, so if you want to go pick that up on the DMsGuild as well, it is currently the #1 under $5 item on the DMsGuild as well, which is pretty damn cool. Displacing ancestral weapons, which has been there forever. And lastly, NPC Art, as always, is done by Aderyn's Art Venturing Guild. So if you want to check out all of those for yourself, for the ones that I don't use, that you might want to use in your games, head over to Patreon and pick them up there. With all of those announcements out of the way, though, it is time to continue telling our story. So, having aided the lizard folk in killing the troglodytes and spent some time exploring the ruins for yourself, you had discovered that it was a ritual site of some kind, long since forgotten and lost to time, before Balrick accidentally uncovered a secret hatch in the ground that led to some underground catacombs. Various depictions of crocodilian creatures and crocodile-headed figures, to go with, apparently, crocodile feeding chambers as well. Tauri found a bunch of useful stuff that she recorded in books to go over later. But the chief thing amongst everything was that it appeared to be a site dedicated to an entity known as the Lord of the Still Waters. Who that is, their relation to all of this, and whether you've ever met them, not a clue. But maybe future research will turn things up. At which point you pushed further on into the woods, came across a trio of adorable pixies. Lesley exchanged gifts with them, and somehow accidentally stumbled into perfectly handling a Fae interaction, entirely by chance. At which point then a fourth pixie? Creepy Fae creature of some kind turned up, and didn't really get on with you, but did leave Lesley with their own gift of sorts. Although that hasn't entirely been going smoothly for him since. Continuing on, you came across a majestic stag of blue and white fur, eyes of night and antlers of starlight that proceeded to talk to you telepathically with cryptic messaging before disappearing off into the woods. And eventually, as the sun headed for the horizon and the shadows got longer, you made the brave decision to camp in the middle of the old forest, far away from civilization. Which is where we will pick up. So we pick up the story with you all settled in hammocks, hastily assembled and strung between the bent and twisting trees of the wood. No fire's been lit as of yet, as the light in the sun finally fades and the darkness of this deep forest takes hold. Your hearing begins to compensate for the loss of sight, picking up the sounds of a forest older than you remembered, and the noise of the nocturnal creatures does little to calm your nerves from this far from safety. Is there anything anyone would like to do in these dark hours?
I think I'd like to have successfully completed a long rest, actually. Is that okay?
I am hiding up a tree looking for bats.
I would like to grab some branches and grab some tiny pieces of rope and start making another tabletop.
Okay.
I'm getting an early now. I'm getting the nicest hammock that we made, and I'm just conking out.
Okay.
Buzz is getting in the second nicest hammock that was made that's hopefully just above where Balrick is.
You think I
Bunk
made
heads, you know?
bunk hammocks? Yeah.
Okay. Aderyn, make me a dex check. I don't think you're proficient with woodcrafting tools.
I never claimed that
Never
Tabitha
know.
was pretty. She was an ugly girl.
You never know if you don't try.
That you have made
Wow.
quite apparent.
You know what? That is a 19. That is a dirty 20.
Very well.
That's pretty good, Tabitha.
Indeed. Tabitha, this new Tabitha 3 is this at this point? Well, it's 3 of this that these lot know.
3 physical Tabithas.
One of them is a fish.
I don't know if that one counts because I made it.
Yeah. Anyway, is a fairly decent mock-up of a girl you despise. So it is hideous intentionally, though. And yeah, you don't know entirely what you're doing, but you know that there's enough spite going into it that it's bound to do something. And you have a doll that you wrap a cord, like you pull a vine off a tree and just tie that to your belt, so it's dangling from your belt. Meanwhile, in a different tree, across the way, is a mad as hell elf looking for bats.
Look, we have to get bats to give us a gift. That's all I remember.
Okay. What are you trying
I
to
don't remember
do?
if they have to be alive, but I'm waiting to just be like flitting around the trees, and then I'm going to try and leap from tree to tree and grab a bat.
Okay. You will be there a while.
Like the horrifying man panther I am.
Yes. We will assume, therefore, you're essentially on first watch.
I only need 4 hours, so yeah.
Yeah. As everyone begins to settle down, you sit there, not watching, but watching specifically for bats. Roll me
Yes.
a survival check.
This is highly important work I'm doing. Natural 1.
You're waiting there,
I
like
fall out the tree.
ironically like Batman. Just waiting.
So if I'm like a Batman, if I capture myself, we'll have a bat. So I throw myself in a bag and fall out the tree.
Yeah. Exactly where the Russian goes. Aderyn, it disturbs you enough to wake you up as there's a sudden heavy thump as Ximori is half in a bag at the bottom of a tree.
What are you doing?
I had an idea.
Is it a good one?
I'm in a bag at the bottom of a tree.
How is that an idea?
It clearly wasn't a good one.
Do you need help?
No, I think everything still moves.
Even shut up. Try and go back to sleep.
Which half of me is in the bag?
Lower half.
Okay.
Mermaid.
You're essentially in a sack race right now.
I climb up a different tree because I think I've probably scared the bats away from that tree, but I don't know where they're.
You take the bag off first.
I want to say yes, but that was a natural 1 and I hit my head falling out of a tree, so... Probably not.
It's now a sleeping bag.
Yep. I'm just, I'm ready for bed, as and when I need. It's portable.
Or it's pants. You just
I just cut a slit in the middle, sew them up. Or if I just pull hard enough, my feet stick out the end.
Turn it into a dress. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, You attempt to go back to your perching spot and look for more bats, but for whatever disturbing reason, maybe they were put off by the sound of a large stump or just the existence of many mammals, no bats come past you during the evening. You do catch sound of some creatures moving about in the forest at night. Roll me a perception check.
Let's go with a different dice. Natural 1.
You peer out, trying to spot
That
what kind of creature it is, and the bag that's still wrapped around your legs gets caught up in the tree, and then wraps around, and you slide out of it, the bag suspended from the tree, wrapped around your knees, and you are upside down, like a bat hanging from a tree right now.
I lost a lot of blood today.
Aderyn, he's still making a lot. They're still making a lot of noise.
Leslie's gonna speak as if, like, out loud, but thinking that him and Aderyn still have their connection. Like, oh my god, Ximori, do you mind? We're trying to sleep. Like, what's up with this guy?
I guess because I still have the psychic connection. It's in Aderyn's head, just, okay, I need help now.
Then wake Balrick up.
I can't reach Balrick.
Lesley, can you reach Balrick?
Lesley drops a shoe on Balrick.
What do you need, Lesley? What?
Oh yeah, accents. Lesley.
Oh yeah.
I think Ximori's just spot up bother, but he's stopped making so much noise. Actually, I think we should leave him like this.
I'll lean over the side of the hammock and take a look around.
In the darkness, I'm hanging upside down like a bat from a tree in a bag.
I don't have dark vision, so I see the vague silhouette, I think. I'm like, Ximori, can you breathe?
I don't need to, but that's not really the issue.
You'll be fine then.
Okay.
You need getting down.
I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt. While my blood is still mostly inside of me, a lot of it is now in my head. And it's making me realise this wasn't a good idea.
Your blood's meant to be in your head.
Yeah, but it's not anywhere else.
I'll get out. I'll sort it out. And I'm gonna sit up in my hammock and tall enough to like sort of nudge Lesley so his hammock tips.
Ah!
Make a dex save, Lesley.
Like a marble run just into your hammock.
Great night's sleep.
It's 11.
11. You are now dangling from a hammock, but you're like held onto your hammock.
Nice.
Wrapped around.
This is upside down facing.
Sorry.
I think you meant to do that.
Oh no, I'm just tall. I can't control my height.
We're the same height.
Same age, maybe.
Oh no, we're not quite. We're almost the same height.
Are we?
There's about a foot difference.
We're almost the same height. A foot's not much.
I suppose from certain perspectives. Maybe.
Thank you.
Right? A giant might consider us similar heights, as might an ant.
Exactly.
Or a Togrim.
I'm
thoughts, Balrick. Help me.
I'm coming. Alright. How high up off the ground?
Not that high at this point.
Can I reach up and try and grab?
Yes.
It's just slowly been descending.
The threads have been tearing slowly.
And just have you in like keep carrying people in that position, but like in that position you're just in a sack. I think it's time for you to switch watches. Yeah?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
You go take my hammock and I'll take the next watch.
I attempt to get into a hammock while in a bag.
Take the bag off first.
I reluctantly take the bag off because it was quite nice and warm.
You put it back on. Okay, you eventually get in a hammock. Is anyone else... Who else is taking watches during the evening?
So far, we've got Mr. No Night Vision.
No one.
I'll take a watch.
Tauri would if no one else is, but it still doesn't help the fact that no night vision.
I got night vision.
Meanwhile, the half-elf.
I mean, actually, no. Presumably everyone's woken up a bit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aderyn is sleepy.
As you all settle back down... Aderyn!
Oh no. It's never good when getting called upon you in the night. It's never good. Always bad things.
So, who are you murdering tonight then?
You chose the one hammock that gave you a view of a tiny sliver of the night sky. While everyone else is kind of obscured by that thick canopy of an ancient forest, there's a little sliver that gave you just a few glimpses of starlight. Finding yourself gently rocking as you gaze up at the endless sky. Slowly, the minds of your companions drift off to silence, and you are alone in your thoughts, gazing up at the blinking stars set up in the night sky. Blinking stars. The stars are blinking. An endless nightscape of unfathomable eyes, watching, waiting. What do you do?
Can I start counting the stars? I'm gonna like, no, 3, no, 5. I'm gonna try and wake Lesley up telepathically. It's like, Lesley? Lesley?
Doesn't work. You reach out to Leslie's mind and you see him like stir slightly in his sleep. It doesn't wake him.
Who's the nearest one to me?
Probably Balrick, considering Leslie's right above him.
Can I grab just like a stone or a branch from the floor next to me? Okay, throw it at Balrick.
You reach down to pick up a stone, and you pick it up. You're thinking it's just a normal stone. You turn it over in your hand, and there is a purple crystalline line through it. And as you then turn your eyes to throw it towards Balrick, you find yourself in a cave.
Can I see anything in the cave?
Make a perception check. You look around, and you can make out the walls of the cave. But somewhere along the craggy edges of the rock, where condensation builds up, there's motes of light reflecting off the water that looks like starlight. As you start moving your way through the tunnel, in the corners of your eyes, those tiny pinpricks of light continue to blink.
Hello? Guys? Are you in this cave? Anybody?
You speak out in the dark. And silence doesn't meet you, just the faint whisper of your own voice. You hear your words repeated back at you. Twisted. Cracked. And you get the distinct feeling that something is aware of you.
Is there anywhere in the cave that I can walk like deeper into it?
You continue walking down. You feel like you're walking for a very long time into the distance. And eventually you come to what feels like the opening of the tunnel, and you feel empty space beyond.
Use Mage Hand to touch the walls and like bang at them.
You touch against the walls, and it echoes out into a cavernous space, returning distantly to your ears. And you see something shift in the darkness.
Yes, bolt at it.
Okay. You unleash a burst of sorceress energy out into the darkness, and there is a mote of light that carries through, and it travels and travels, and you see that what is a cavernous space is a cavernous pit that descends down, and in the second of light that you have, you see crystals embedded in the walls, running like veins throughout, that refract just a few too many times. And at the bottom, a shape of limbs and eyes just blinks. And blinks into starlight as you find yourself back in the forest.
I'm gonna get out of my hammock and I'm gonna go towards Lesley and shake him awake.
You go to get out of your hammock, awakening with a sudden gasp as a migraine throbs behind one of your eyes. As you bring yourself round, the night of eyes is suddenly gone, and instead faint threads of pale sunlight are making their way through the leaves. That's a lot of leaves. Your limbs are really heavy. Look around you and you see branches and vines and roots weaving all over you. Quickly panicking, you see no sign of your friends, just a knot of bark and vine where their hammocks were, as a vine begins to creep across your vision, blocking out the light. My, you are either very confident or very stupid, all of you. Or perhaps both. As you see, springing into frame, the creepy, misshapen fae that afflicted Lesley with something. The rest of you all kind of rob into consciousness and find yourselves encased and restrained underneath plant life of some kind. You are all encased in root and vine right now, and you are all to be considered suffocated.
What happened to me being on watch?
I'm asleep.
Oh no.
The only one of you... There's two of you who are immune to sleep effects. One of them was asleep in a trance. The other one was in a nightmare.
Fair enough. Are we full rested?
Yes, you all have had the equivalent of a long rest, but you are currently blinded and restrained.
Blinded and restrained?
And meanwhile, there is a mocking voice just about making its way through through your ears.
And it's a familiar voice to the rest of us.
Yeah, you've all heard this voice yesterday.
Can I get Pebble to start chewing at vines and ripping things off?
Yeah, I don't think the fey creature would understand that Pebble is that kind of thing.
I guess he's just going to be hacking and pulling and scratching with his claws at anything that's binding us. Does it do anything?
Yeah, you can start hearing Pebble like slashing away at the stuff. But you then also hear, oh no, that's just unfair. Metal against plant life? We can't be having that now, can we? Let's see what we can do about that. You suddenly hear Pebble distracted from the task you had set for them as the sounds of metal clawing on root and bark fades slightly.
Has he helped me enough to wriggle out or anything?
Enough that you can now, you've got a very small view of outside, like there's a beam of light coming through hitting your eyes, and you can just about see like the branches and trees up ahead. Can Pebble please make me a strength saving throw?
Yes. 3.
3.
That was a nat 1.
Ooh. External camera to what you're seeing, Pebble was hacking away at you, and then suddenly from the ground vines and roots burst up and clamped round Pebble's joints. Pebble is now currently restrained.
Right.
I would like to attempt to flex my way free, because this is... I hate this so much.
Make me a strength check.
As someone who can lift lots and big things, I would like to do similar.
Okay.
That's a
Think
bit
about
better.
my life size.
A natural 20 to 19 for 23.
Oh, mine's not as good. Mine's
No.
13.
13. Anyone else?
Am I able to speak, or am I also suffocating?
You're able to speak, but it will cost you air, as you're aware that you're getting crushed. It's up to you.
Okay. Can I mentally reach out to the Fae?
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that, and I'll go. You! What do you think you're doing trespassing on our camp? Let us go.
Why would I do that? I mean, if anyone's trespassing here, it's you.
No, we set a boundary of a camp. You're trespassing on us.
What is it with you mortals and thinking you own everything?
What is it with you? Thinking that you can put all these leaves on top of us?
I'm just doing what the plant life wants to do. I'm just giving it a little push.
Did you ask the plants?
Oh, me and the plants have plenty of conversations. Don't you worry your pretty little head about it.
Well, can you have the conversation somewhere else and let us go?
Oh, no, they live here more than you do. So I think it's perfectly fine.
I'm alive and I'm here, so I live here now.
Oh, you staying forever, are you? I'm
No,
certain
not
that can be
forever.
arranged.
Not forever. Have you never heard of nomads? You little thing?
Oh, I do like to wander, but I also like to make sure people know where I belong. At this point, Ximori, suddenly there's a... as you just snap a root in half. And, like, you're not fully out at this point, but, like, you've got an arm free and you can see properly out. And he's like, oh, that's going to be a problem. Pleasant conversation, dearie, but have someone else to deal with now. And you see him, like, spring around to face you, Ximori. You're still kind of, like, half-trapped. He stays just out of arm's reach of you and just goes, did you not like your new bed?
I'm just looking at him. There are no words for this little fuck. The arm I've got free is the one that has Leslie's scarf tied around it. I'm just looking at it and just breathing. Breathe. Breathe.
Breathing is a very useful thing to do.
Can I tear a bit of the tree free?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to try and impale him with it.
Okay, make me an attack at disadvantage.
Disadvantage means I'm rolling a 17 instead. So that is improvised weapon. It's going to be a fair amount to hit anyway. 23 to hit? 22 to hit, sorry.
That'll hit.
And
Yeah.
weapon, so D4.
Yeah.
3 plus 3, 6 points of piercing damage. Or whatever the damage for a bit of root I'm trying to jam into something is.
Yeah, you, like, get his arm out. Sticking out, and you essentially have like a short spear of a branch that he's just out of arm's reach, which means he doesn't have the time to react as you jam it into like his skinny frame. It's like, ah!
We knew you lot were trouble.
And just in Elvish, I am just like,
Feed, eat, fight. I strongly recommend you don't do that here. But if you do insist on coming closer, then you'll get what's coming to you, you filthy mortals.
He like pulls it free, and there's a gout of blood that like, is slightly off colour. Like it's slightly too dark, slightly too purple, as it.
Did you come out of the pit? I'm gonna scream in its head.
I came out of somewhere that I'm sure you'll find soon enough since you refuse to leave.
Do you keep blinking?
She is annoying.
Just before anything comes from you, Balrick, all of you who are still in the plant life feel it begin to like tighten and restrict. What is everyone's Constitution score? Constitution modifier, sorry.
2.
Plus 3.
Okay, you're okay, Ximori. You've managed to get enough air anyway. 2, 2, 2. Togrim?
2.
2. So everyone.
Mine was a 3.
Yeah. Okay, that's just. You are all feeling your lungs and ribcage get crushed slightly.
I just want to push through the lungs and I'm getting crushed and stuff. I just want to shout, please, just give us a moment of your time and we'll move on from here.
Oh, you think you're clever, but you ain't going to get that from me. Besides, when we had a conversation yesterday, you were oh so rude, so why should I be nice to you? In fact, only one of you willingly wanted a gift from me, and I can still see it is there now. I hope you're enjoying it, by the way. It's a little special.
I've got no complaints, but did you not like the gift I gave you? Is that what this is about?
It was lovely, but your tall, obnoxious friend is rather rude, and you seemingly have a desire to come closer to my abode, and I can't be having that. In fact, it'd be better if you all left and just
left the forest to itself.
You should have just put up a sign if you're so worked up about us being here.
I think there was enough warning signs.
No, I didn't see a single sign. So really, this is about you not putting up signs.
Where I come from, signs aren't needed. Emotion is plenty.
Well, I didn't see any emotions.
This has been pleasant. Do enjoy those last few breaths. You won't be getting any more from me. And Ximori, you see them begin to skip away into the forest.
Now can Lesley panic and start trying to wiggle out?
Make a strength check for Lesley.
Can it be Dex? Is there any way we can make this Dex? 16?
16. You managed to break a limb.
Not one of mine.
No. Live with the tree.
My hip.
I'm so strong.
You hear it break. It doesn't fully get you out, but you know that you've got a weak point that you can keep working out.
Does any air get in?
A little.
Leslie's getting the panics. You know, the breathing.
What's everyone else doing?
I'm looking between the spear, the improvised spear with the blood on it, and the sash on my arm.
Ximori, I will say this, you're the only person that sees as he skip away, he just turns invisible.
Yep. And I'm going to drop the spear and pull myself free, if I can.
Make a strength check.
I'm going to, since my clever ruse did not work, I'm going to just try and also pull myself out.
I respect the
21.
hustle. 21.
Balrick knows fear. Balrick knows fear.
Balrick does not pay. Ximori, you successfully managed to break yourself out at this point.
19 plus stuff.
So do you, Balrick. It takes you a little bit longer, but you do manage to fully break your will free. The two of you are now out, and you can hear Lesley starting to panic. What is Tauri and Togrim doing? You can also see Pebble completely wrapped up in vines, by the way.
Tauri would have... she wouldn't have slept in her armour, obviously.
No.
But she would have slept with her knife still attached to her thigh.
Okay.
So Tauri would attempt to get her knife to start trying to cut out.
Make a sleight of hand check at disadvantage.
You could also do this with Leslie's knife that she probably still has attached to her.
I will run over to Lesley and start to try and rip branches off.
Make a strength check. Make a strength check at advantage because Leslie's broken something already.
10.
10. You try to pull down to it, but your arm is pinned to your side and you cannot get that knife out in any way, shape or form. You are in, binds at this point.
19 plus
can-
stuff.
You are also aware, Tauri, that you are beginning to run out there.
I can see Aderyn, so I'm going to Aderyn first to break Aderyn out.
Cool.
I got 19 plus stuff to kind of... I think I've got my machete on the floor, probably. And just
Oh my god, please not the machete.
No,
There's so many bits Lesley doesn't want to lose.
Leslie, one panic ends as you suddenly see light and air rushes in. You can feel your lungs. A second panic sets
Oh
in
my
as a
God.
machete comes to set.
Oh dear god.
19 for pulling Aderyn free.
You manage to pull something out so Aderyn can get a breath, but it just takes a little bit longer to pull him out. Meanwhile, Togrim,
I would
Togrim?
just be thrashing around, same as Pebble, the two of us, just
Pebble can
trying
make
to
a
break the
strength
lead.
saving throw to try and break free. As you begin to lose consciousness.
Great. 9 for Pebble.
9. Pebble still can't break free. Look, Pebble is trying to come to your aid, but is completely encased in these vines. Make me a strength check to see whether Togrim can get some air.
Can I help him?
12 for Togrim.
Well, it's struggling to the point that the corner, the blackness is coming around the corners, and you are worried about what's happening.
I'm not going to stop fighting, but
Can I rush to Togrim?
The camera's Togrim, make me a strength check.
I'm going to try and get my knife again.
Cool, go for it. You are also starting to
No.
lose consciousness.
I know I don't have the
22.
strength to bust out of this.
Was that 22?
Yeah.
Cool. You manage to break something free just as you see Togrim just go limp and fall unconscious. There's no death saves or anything like that because now there's suddenly air, but Togrim is currently unconscious from oxygen starvation, briefly.
Can Lesley help
Up and
her?
free.
Rip Lesley out of the tree now.
Yeah.
Throw it for Ximori.
Well, that knife is still buried in there, and you managed to like pop the catch on it just about, but you haven't got round to pulling it out, and like you are at this point going, you're not going to get out of here by yourself before you fade out.
I want to rip Lesley out of
Tauri
the wall, roll them towards where Tauri is, and I'm gonna.
Tauri's not struggling or panicking. She's trying to do the knife and then conserve air other than that, if that makes sense.
Very efficient.
At that point, make me a strength check, Balrick.
I threw Lesley out first.
Okay, Balrick, Lesley, make me a strength check.
Lesley
Make an attack roll with
I think
Lesley.
I think this is on Balrick actually.
Yeah,
See
okay.
how strong he is.
Make a improvised thrown weapon attack.
I guess I also take the
Lesley on a
damage.
route.
Yeah, you're going to take the damage from this.
It's is it plus strength still? Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I proficient in Lesley?
Not yet.
Oh, you can decide.
Give it time.
Dirty 20.
Very
That'll
dirty.
hit. Roll me a d4 plus strength.
Leslie bounces off the roots, you catch them into a back-to-back suplex.
4 plus 2, 6 max damage.
Leslie, you take 3.
Appreciate it.
And Tauri, just as you're fading out, even though you're conserving oxygen, you've got to this point, fading out, there's suddenly a and your head like cracks against one of the roots and completely knocks you out at this point. But there is a large crack in the roots that you will see on the outside.
Get them out, Lesley.
Leslie's gonna start like trying to pry bits of the wood away from Tauri and like hoik her out.
It's easy enough to do. It takes a short time, but at this point you now have 2 unconscious party members.
And I'm going to start waving my machete around the camp looking for a now invisible thing.
Sure. Make me investigation check.
Oh, rolling so much. Jesus. Just rolled 19, 19, 18, 17. So 17 plus 6, 23.
23. You are swinging the machete in large wide arcs and just hitting air and swinging, hitting nothing. Long gone.
Is that who we're meant to be seeing? They seem very territorial.
Oh, that's just a menace.
I don't know. They didn't seem very auntie-ish to me.
I think they're just a trickster menace who's messing with us.
Besides, we're here for Fiddler, not whatever the Fae thing that's here is.
Can we do anything to wake up the? It's time for the liquor. Leslie's gonna use the blackberry or blueberry liquor that we got at the farmhouse that was inexplicably just destroyed. Who knows how that happened?
Random
And it's gonna use it. I don't know. It's like a random act of
terrible,
blood,
you know?
Really awful. Like, just shame on the people who did that. But
Spontaneous combustion. Who knew?
you know, gonna use it as like smelling salts to try and wake up Tauri and Togrim.
Okay. I guess Tauri and Togrim make me constitution check.
Checks, yeah?
Yeah, check.
15.
21.
21. Both of you are brought back to the world of the awake by some of the most rough, homegrown berry wine you have ever smelled.
How close is Lesley to me?
Close as you want, baby. Oh fuck! No, not that close.
Emma, did we get a long rest? Also, Emma, throw me at the brick and put me in melee range of the angry bard.
Does an 18 hit?
Lesley, a poor little Lesley. 18 does hit.
I would like to use a point of inspiration for Get Down.
Sure.
I shove Lesley out the way as I see the knife coming.
No, it's not the knife.
It's gonna be a slap. It's gonna be a big old slap.
Yeah, it's just like a punch in the nose.
Oh, that's kind of mean.
I shove Lesley to the ground and take it.
You got a dead leg.
Ow.
Well, it depends on whereabouts he is. If he's like, it depends on where he's like. Can I roll as if I punch him in the crotch?
Sure. Straight luck check.
Interesting to be the second of my stab through the chest.
Here's the question: what do I need to? Is it high or low?
What did you roll?
I rolled a 13, which I feel like it means it should because it's unlucky. So therefore, it's unlucky.
Doesn't do it. It's 15 or higher to get the nods. It's straight thigh. Straight dense thigh muscle.
Dead leg. Somebody take Togrim. I say, falling to the ground.
Oh, thank you
It
very much,
probably wouldn't be
Ximori.
a dead leg because the maximum I do is 1 piece of 1 damage.
You punch like a bard.
Togrim would just wake up and be like, oh, what the hell is that?
Would you like some?
Tauri replies to the insult of you punch like a bard to, yes, well, at least I am one rather than a wannabe.
Oh. Oh.
Make a wisdom saving throw. Is that more vicious?
It's just hurt my pride. That's all. Is everyone all right? Oh, all right. Everybody's awake.
Better now, but what the hell
Didn't
was that?
suffocate in a tree.
Yeah, why were we wrapped up?
Fear mischief.
I think that Balrick has upset someone. I think
Oh,
he should have been more polite.
It's not being polite with them. It's you just deal with them.
Oh, I stabbed it, so...
Lesley, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, still?
Can I be cutting Togrim free? Pebble free, rather.
Oh,
Just
15.
on the side.
15, you're fine.
Who is the real one? Is it Togrim or Pebble? How can we know? How do I know which one to shoot?
Neither, hopefully.
How do I know which one to throw down the stairs?
I think we need to pack up camp real quick and move on. I don't want to be around when they come back. They'll be mischief. I don't like it.
There were lots of them watching in the night.
What do you mean?
There were lots of them, like lots of eyes just watching us.
And you didn't think to wake us? I must have been enchanted or something, knocked out. But I was here the whole time. I was on watch. I don't know what you're on about.
Well, it doesn't matter, all the eyes are gone now, but there were lots of them.
Sarah, roll me a perception or insight check, your choice.
Adam, if people are around us, you need to let us know.
16.
16. You can't explain it. It's not a physical sense of being watched. It's a mental sense of being watched.
Like right now? They're still here. All the eyes, they're still watching us.
And I jump and look around. Sword's still out.
Roll a perception check.
Yes, they can see us
Perception.
in our head.
My dice is doing well today. 19, 19, 18, 17, 17 again. So 17 plus 5, I think.
We need to stop you making rolls. It's just gradually going
Going
down.
down, yeah.
22.
22. You take a intense, instinctive look around someone with your own skills. There is nothing here. Like, the closest you see is, like, deep in the forest. You see what you think is, like, a family of boars just moving through. That's it.
They're not physically here, are they, Adam?
No, they can watch us in our minds. And they just keep blinking, and they keep blinking, And they keep blinking. But they're still watching, and there's... I can't even count them, Balrick, I tried.
I think you keep an eye on that case then. That's interesting.
But I've only got 2 eyes. How can I keep an eye on all of the other eyes?
That's not quite what I mean. If you let us know,
Your chest. That's one, the big tattoo one.
what I mean is you just let us know if anything changes. If you sense anything change, if they do anything, they disappear, if more of them appear. I think that I'm hoping that that's something that they're not aware of. If there's someone watching us, it'd be nice for them not to know that you can watch back.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to put Togrim down again.
Let's pack up camp quickly and be on the move. I don't think we want to stick around.
Can I just have a quick look at that bit of root that I stabbed into the Fae?
Yeah, sure. What are you looking for?
Just looking at the blood, trying to figure out like why it looked wrong.
Make me a medicine check to start.
With wisdom, isn't it?
Yeah.
14.
14. Wrong as far as you're concerned. You have, willingly or unwillingly, dealt with a lot of blood in your time. This is not traditional crimson. It is closer to plum, more like wine in colour. But it just has a viscosity that puts you off. Like it shouldn't be that thick.
I'm just going to sort of bury it in the ground. Don't like Ximori. Don't like.
So you head up?
Yep.
Speed things on a little bit. You follow the last few signs before, and you find the various ones that lead to where you're hoping to find Fiddler. And amongst the and after a short while travel, not far at all, to be honest, Balrick from the front, you can see amongst the trees a hedgerow, some 8-9 foot tall, that winds in and around the trunks of the trees, obscuring what's beyond, dense with foliage and tangled vines. And at the centre of it, directly in your path, is an archway. Leaves with dark vines hanging down in front of it like a curtain. It's directly in your path.
We all see the arch, or is it just Balrick?
Balrick sees it first, but once he points it out, it's visible.
It's like an arch of vines.
Yeah, so in this hedge there is just an open archway, like you would at the entrance to a maze or anything like that. But essentially there's vines hanging down in front of it, just obscuring what's beyond, acting like a privacy curtain or something like that.
I think we're entering into a boundary now.
This would make a lovely place to have a self-portrait painted. It's in front of these vines. Can you imagine?
Yeah, one of those, like, really quick ones.
Yeah, there's speedy self-ports.
Yeah. I hate they were invented by an elf, the
I was going to see whether Andrew knew the inventor of the photograph then, because that would have been a drop.
No, I was trying to make a selfie elfie reference.
What was the clap?
Inspiration. Okay.
Yeah, such a man.
Who's getting?
Also, Chris, have inspiration for trying to out-Fey a Fey, because that's ballsy.
Is it Degard? The photographing.
I don't know.
Degard.
I was hoping Andrew knew.
Where's the Degard again?
Well, I want to go through that arch. That is an enticing archway.
Wedgwood. Thomas Wedgwood is believed to have taken the first photograph.
Fair enough. Anyway,
Forever now, thank you for that information, Gavin.
you're welcome. I have nothing to do with that.
Neither do I, but it's there now.
What are you doing? Lesley, just head straight forward, do they?
Leslie's heading for the arch. Come on, it looks good. Ooh,
Anyone
viney.
going with him?
I'm gonna grab Leslie a second at the front and just go. Just be careful. This is not. We're entering into their territory now. Proper.
Lesley and Aderyn are going to skip right in, arm in arm.
A very clear boundary. All right.
Okay.
Oh no. Anyone else want to just go willy-nilly? Just rush in?
Well, I was going to
Wait, can Lesley,
walking
when we get past, can Lesley start screaming?
Can Lesley and Aderyn please roll me strength saving throws?
Oh fuck!
I mean, I was about to just say, could we pause for 10 minutes so I can do something, but there we are.
Or
So, strength 10.
10. As you go through arm in arm, skipping straight through the archway, through the vines, before you get through the archway, the vines wrap around all four of your limbs and you're currently suspended in the archway.
Well,
No.
doesn't this just remind you of? Oh, never mind.
You're
Never mind.
currently grappled and restrained.
Tauri, I think that you had the right idea. I think we could have taken a few minutes to check things. You
I
feel
mean, I
like
suppose we still could. I mean, it's not like they're going anywhere.
you sit down. I'll get them down. You do.
At the phrase, it's not like they're going anywhere, you suddenly see disattaching from the hedgerow itself these humanoid vine-like creatures. Balrick can roll me a nature check if they wish. And while wrapped up in these vines, Aderyn and Lesley are walked inwards towards whatever is beyond the hedgerow.
I don't think you have time for that, Tauri. I got a 19.
These are vine blights.
Vine blight. And I'm going to rush towards them, going off. Have you learned your lesson yet?
I'm walking
Nope.
forward. I'm taking my flute out of my bag. I just at the border. Yeah, I've got a little flute. Little wooden flute. I'm just going to call from the border. Hello, I'm a travelling flute salesman. And walk in.
I'm going to try and...
Roll me a deception check.
Hey, you don't know. I could be trying to sell this flute. 13.
13, okay.
Wait, sorry, deception. No, yeah, I don't. Can I make a performance?
What do I know about blight? What do I know about vine blights?
They're not anything super dangerous. They're more annoying than anything. They're essentially sentient plants, more often than not created by either a druid, a hag, like creatures that have control over plant life generally can create them. Some will use them as soldiers. Vine blights are very good guards because they can capture anyone that tries to go through and bring them apprehended to their master.
I'm going to run towards, sword out, and just go... Halt, stop! We're coming in peace. Rushing towards them with a sword.
We come in
Roll
peace.
persuasion.
It's an interesting war cry. I gotta give it props for that.
Zero. Straight 0.
Should have stopped rolling. Should have stopped rolling.
Should have maybe put the sword away when you were shouting about coming in peace.
What's your armor class?
just got this inspiration.
I do have. You know what? I do have inspiration. I might.
In response to that 0, it's 15 your armor class. One of them just unleashes a lash of vine at you and attempts to restrict you, but you like wrap it around and then just slash your sword down and undo the vine. I need you to roll initiative. 25 to 20.
23.
Dirty 20.
Ximori?
21.
Balrick. Ximori. Aderyn. 20 to 15?
18.
19.
Sorry, I didn't roll. It's 19.
Leslie's got the higher dex than Tauri, I believe.
Oh, no, sorry, it's much more than 19. It's 22.
Well, you're going where you are now.
That's fine, I'm good with that.
Balrick, you are up first, though.
Well, I just
It's just-
split off. And okay.
Wait, because we've just rolled initiative, can I do the thing that I haven't been able to do? Huh? Thank you.
Can indeed.
Sorry.
Look at Emma remembering her subclass feature.
I remember it, it's just every time I want to use it, I can't use it.
I'm so proud.
I would like to use Tactical Command, which is when I roll initiative, I can issue one of the following tactical commands, which I need to read very quickly.
One moves, one increases AC, one increases to hit, something like that.
Yes. How charismatic am I again? I think very. Yeah, I could be more charismatic, you
I
know.
should know, I made this subclass, but, you know, I made
It's
it
great.
a year ago.
Actually, no, we're going to go with redeploy, and Leslie's going to redeploy on Balrick. Chosen creature can immediately move up to half its movement speed without provoking opportunity attacks. If you wanted to follow us.
I rush after to try and reach the blight.
Leslie, what do you say to command?
Yeah, Leslie's
Just
Leslie's going to be kind of macho about it. And but then it's the movement starts, and there's going to be a very undignified. Ah!
Yeah.
And yeah.
Straight into Balrick's turn, what do you do?
This is part of the same thing. Are they like, so they're wrapped in the vines and the people, the blights are coming out of the bush, or are they blights what is holding them?
The blights are holding them, but they're not like, it's not like a shambling mound where they're inside it. It's like they have vines wrapped around and essentially like frog marching the two of them forwards.
Are they in the archway?
They're just beyond it.
So I'd have to go through the arch.
Yes.
It wasn't a trap, was it? It was a save they had to make. So I couldn't do that. Well, they're redeploying me through, so I'm gonna, I'm just gonna rush through. As part of that redeploying,
Cool.
that's rushing through the vines, fudging through.
You wait for the vines to hit. Nothing hits.
Cool. I reach the vine blight, draw my other sword, my machete. So I've got a nice sword and machete, and I'm gonna.
Are you saving Lesley or Aderyn?
Leslie
Who's your
replied.
favourite?
Lesley asked for the help, and
Wow.
Wow.
Can command?
there's an element here of who's the most useful to free immediately.
Can they command?
Make your attack.
And keep digging deeper while it's it.
Balrick.
So I attack with my shovel. Dirty 20.
Yeah, that
Oh,
hits.
do I actually? Do I draw the second one, or do I do that instead? No, I'm not wasting that. Yeah, dirty 20 hits. That's a D6 plus 4. 6 points of damage. And a machete offhand attack. 15.
Hit.
That's just 3 because I don't have dual wielding, so that's just a 3.
Nice. Leslie, you see these two swords come in, hack away at some vines. The thing's still got you wrapped up, but it does like stumble slightly as it leans over, having lost some plant life to one side. Anything else?
Action, bonus action, movement. So I'm just going to like.
Ximori, you're up. Aderyn on it.
Go.
Yeah, I thought Togrim got better than me.
No, Togrim's after Tauri.
I'm way down the list.
Yeah, it's you then Aderyn.
I thought I rolled well, and then I just got pushed down by everyone else
Yeah,
being better
everyone
than
else
me.
was like above 20. Meanwhile, the Vine Blights rolled a nat 1. So, like, all of these amazing initiatives, they're just like down here somewhere.
In that case, I'm sprinting for the one that's got Aderyn.
Yeah, go for it.
And just pulling out the hand axes. So first attack, I'm not gonna rage. First attack, 23.
Hits.
And the second attack is a 16.
Yep.
Alrighty. First attack is a mighty 6.
96, same as Balrick.
Oh, and the second is also a 6, so 12 overall.
You did outdo you in the end, Balrick. They did. As again, you just come leaping through with these twin axes and just hack like cross-side along its back, and you see it like recoil in pain. And Aderyn, you feel the vines around you tighten by that thing, which means you like look over your shoulder and you can see Ximori hacking away at this creature.
Oh my god, the Barbarian did more melee damage than the Ranger? What?
But Aderyn, it is your turn.
You're right, next time I'll throw them instead, just to make you feel better.
Can I try? I've got a dagger in my belt, so can I try and cut loose?
You can. You're at disadvantage because you are restrained, but you can try that.
I will try that. What do I roll?
Dagger would be Dex or Strength, whichever is better for you. And you would be proficient, so you'll have your proficiency bonus as well.
14.
14 hits.
Woohoo! That is just 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. You just you cut through one vine that's holding on to you, and you get your arm a little bit freer for your next round of attacks. Bonus action?
No.
Cool. Lesley, you're up. Tauri on deck.
So Leslie's gonna try it. So when Balrick attacked the blight, and now Leslie's kind of wonky, is there any way of Lesley controlling his limbs, or
You are
are
still
they still?
technically grappled and restrained, but you can try to break that as an action if you wish.
Why not? Action.
It couldn't make a vague pig noise.
Yep.
It's a
pig
strength
noise as
check.
biscuit.
It's a strength check to try and break through.
Oh, I thought the pig noise was enough. Actually.
It's not, I'm afraid. If
Oh,
someone
well,
cast,
confused,
if someone
thinking,
cast grease on you and you were a greased pig, then maybe it would be enough. But
It's a 12.
that is just enough.
Oh,
As
hell
that's it.
yeah.
You flex what muscles you do have left over from your days on the field, and you manage to just pull out of this vine, and you stumble out to the side and regain your feet. You still have a bonus action if you have one.
Yep.
You break your hip hold there.
I can use my bonus action to issue a new command to a friendly creature I can see or hear within 60 feet. And I am going to yell at Togrim. Cut these bastards up. And until the start of your next turn, Togrim. Oh no, it's at the start of my next turn.
Yeah.
When you make an attack roll, you get a bonus to hit equal to 3.
Cool. Tauri, you're up.
Despite the fact of everything that's going on, Tauri is going to yell at everyone, including her own party members. How about we all take a pause and get this off on the right foot?
What are you doing? Is this just a persuasion check? essentially?
This is
You're doing-
persuasion for everyone to actually stop fighting and talk.
Okay. Well, your party can decide what to do with that. Roll me a persuasion check for the Vine Blight.
I mean, I think we should all roll wisdom, really, shouldn't we, versus the persuasion.
It isn't. What you want to do for your character is entirely up to you. They're your character. If you wish to let the dice decide your actions, you can do.
I really did not wish I'd rolled because I got a nat 20 on that.
Well, you wasted it.
26 on that persuasion check.
I got a 2.
I will let people. You see the Vine Blights. Ooh, roll me an insight check, I'll say.
insights.
Yep.
Cool. That is 17.
17. You see the Vine Blights pause. You're not entirely sure what, but you notice that they slightly loosen their binds on Aderyn. She is not released by any means, but your immediate thought process is they're not trying to hurt her. But that's what you get.
Cool. That's it. I could do a proper mum voice at the rest of the party.
Cool. Togrim.
Togrim is feeling like Lesley has egged him on, so he's going to pull out his crossbow and fire at one of the blights.
Go for it. Which one? The one that's still holding Aderyn, or...?
Yeah, go for the one that's still holding Aderyn.
Go for it.
What's the other one doing?
No longer holding Lesley.
Right, yeah. For 24 to hit?
Easy.
Oh.
Lesley directing your fire like an air traffic controller.
11 damage.
11 points of damage.
Why don't we sit down and talk? Me or Togrim stepping up the
Centre mass, Aderyn. You just see, you feel something poke you in your back, and you look down. There's a crossbow bolt just embedded straight through this Vine Blight's midsection that stopped just short of hitting you. You're and you see this thing buckle and weak.
Togrim doesn't care about collateral damage.
It was just that good of a shot.
I really hope that was calculated, Togrim.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, miscalculated.
And then can I get Pebble to go up and grab that one to stop it advancing any further?
Just wants to grapple it?
Yeah.
Cool. Make me a strength athletics check for Pebble, and the Vine Blight will make one in return.
16.
That's a 5. Pebble just grabs onto its calf, constitutes its calf, and just holds it in place. It is now the Vine Blight's turns. I'm gonna need Balrick, Lesley, Ximori, and Pebble to make strength saving throws, please.
They can never be Dex, can they? Gotta be strong in D&D.
14?
14?
Really don't like how good my rolls are on such consequential things. This session has been insane. It's a nat 20.
Nat 20? And Lesley?
3.
So, Lesley, you feel plant life underneath you just grab onto your legs and lock you in place. And Pebble?
Pebbles was a 12.
Pebble manages to overcome it. It tries to do the same thing again, but Pebble got caught by this earlier today and just instinctively just snaps out of the vines. The other one that is on Aderyn is just going to attempt to break the grapple of Pebble. So if Pebble can make an athletics check again, please.
5.
Rolly! Roll again. Ooh.
15.
19. So it manages to just get out of the grapple and then shuffle forwards, still with Aderyn in its quickly faltering gait. It only moves 10 feet. Vine Blights are not quick.
Outside of my range, then.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you want to take an attack of opportunity?
Absolutely. So that is a 19.
That hits. Roll damage.
7.
7. You
It less gets free and more I cut the leg off.
Yeah, and it just collapses into a deanimated bundle of vines on the floor, and Aderyn, you stumble free, loose from the vines, free from the bindings. That ends there, so back to the top, Balrick.
If I say something, do I get a reaction from it? As in, can I talk
as
to
if you speak to the thing.
Yeah.
You can try.
I'm going to put my blade towards it and go, will you cease your attack?
She wishes to talk with you.
We wish to talk with her. Will you lead us to her?
You see it like slightly like cock its head, like it's listening to something else almost, and then like turns back to you. Walk forwards, find your way, and it then like just walks around and heads back towards the entrance that you first passed through.
Breathe out very carefully. Not the best start for us.
I don't know, maybe I'm a travelling flute salesman. I say putting away my axes.
Lesley, Aderyn, have we learnt a lesson about running into strange places carelessly?
Yes.
Leslie's leg's still like entangled or not?
No, they become untangled.
Oh, nice.
I did.
Then Lesley is going to turn to Balrick and say, "Yes, Daddy."
There'll be a Tumblr hashtag before you know it.
As I was outside, that's the boundary of her territory. I think what we should have done is announce ourselves at the door.
Do you know so many things about these creatures, Balrick?
I lived in a forest that had a fair presence. I know some of the rules. I'm not an expert by any means,
Well, before we go in, do you think maybe you could give us some tips? Like, is there anything I shouldn't do?
Fuck around and find out.
No, you shouldn't do that. You absolutely shouldn't do that. Do not.
No, I'm saying that is what she should not do.
Yeah.
Should not. I'm getting lost. I should fuck around.
No,
I should fuck around.
no. I would say try not
Like,
to say.
but they're not very pretty.
No.
It might be best if you just don't talk.
They are very prideful. Do not insult them. Especially hags, as I presume from the looks around it, fairly powerful. Don't agree to anything without actually thinking it through.
But if I think it through, then I can agree.
It depends on if Fae can be very literal. There was something I tried to say to the Fae earlier, where I asked it for a moment of its time. You know the phrase, "Can I have a moment of your time?"
Yes. And you go, well, what kind of portion do you want? In like an hour, like a day?
Well, yeah,
Like
you
a
get
year?
it. You get it. Aye, if the Fae said, yeah, it would have owed me time.
And then you have to sit there and spend time. For like a year.
Aye, something along those lines. Just, we need to be very careful and very respectful and very...
Very respectful.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm not an expert, don't know how this is going to go, I don't know much about hags.
what if I talk with
know
lots of compliments?
Stories of the forest. Yeah, compliment them. Don't be insincere. Sincere compliments.
So I can only say the truth, but I have to be nice.
Oh, someone who knows how to talk people wise, please talk to her about this, because I'm
Step forward.
It's just going to go wrong. Oh, no.
Right. So you see what you've got to do, right?
No.
You've got to, just say it like it is,
But being nice. But only
Being nice,
you feel
yeah.
nice things. So
You know,
like,
there's things like we want to say that like we feel are like constructive criticism.
yeah.
Yeah, not those.
But if I phrase it in a nice way, then I can turn it
No,
into
it's still probably bad. You know how like we started talking at one point and ended up with Togrim almost being thrown down the stairs?
Yeah.
Yes. Not that.
Togrim built it.
Wasn't that Togrim's plan?
No.
See, that's the kind of thing we have to watch out for, is just, talking a lot, because, that might have just ended with Togrim being thrown down the stairs, but if we talk wrong here, it might end up with, us trapped in a tree for 10,000 years.
Yeah.
I think we go in there and be very honest about what we want.
What
and
do we
we'll
want?
listen to What she wants. The location of Fiddler.
Okay.
We want to know where Fiddler is and how we can get to them.
Would
I
you like
think,
Fiddler as well, given we still don't know who they are or what they look like?
And the description of Fiddler. Yeah.
It seems like these people might be a haggling sort. And I've got many nice gifts.
Hag.
From the. We've gotten some very nice gifts. What might we be willing to part with in return for information on Fiddler, or what would we be willing to do? Maybe we should set a ground rule first.
I mean, you took the
there
notepad
was-
that said what you liked, didn't you?
Huh?
You
Yeah,
took the notepad
bats.
that said- You had a notepad that said what you liked. Did you not grab Fiddler's notepad?
Yep.
There
So
was,
far
there was
back.
bats. There was bats.
Well, I don't remember that I have read the book.
There was slightly off fruit and there were bats. That's what I remember. And I
Wait.
couldn't find any bats. Which is what I was doing up the
In
trees.
Emma's defense, I don't think she was here for this information.
My defense.
You do have the notebook, and Lesley is
Maybe Emma read it now.
intelligent enough. There was a note down with Arnie Blightroot section in the notebook that listed gift ideas of like fruit turning bad, slightly off fruit kind of thing, tea, and bat was all it said.
Bats.
Bat singular. And dislikes were loud noise, moths, and being questioned. As in, or having her methods questioned.
Okay.
I will say, you find yourself standing in a space that's equally as dense with plants as the forest was. But it's cultivated plant life. This isn't the wild nature that you've been walking through for the last day or so. This is intentional, mapped, and placed. It's verdant and growing strong, despite the thick canopy overhead that blocks a fair chunk of the sunlight. And the humidity here is pretty intense and instantly seeps through your clothes. A faint moisture, low-lying mist lingers in wisps around you. And deep in this humid haze, you can make out the shape of a building in the distance.
How frizzy has all of our hair become?
It's getting there. But surrounding you are all different types of plants as well.
Do any of them have fruit on it that's turning bad?
I think this is her too.
Roll me a perception check.
Nope.
Looking around, you don't see anything necessarily growing
Don't see anything.
fruit. It seems a lot more
It's
less orchardy, more plant flower-like flora.
I can't help but think if we got fruit from here, it would be like gifting someone for Christmas the thing that they got you last year.
No, it's more like going into their house and like killing a plant that they like and then giving them that, you know? It's taking like a cat like hairball or something and giving them that. Do we have oh Lesley has the remainder of the fruit he was given by the Fae with a bite mark in it.
Do we have any fruit in our ration?
Is it starting to turn bad?
Yeah, it's starting to look mushy round where the bite was taken out because it doesn't have the exterior holding on to it.
I mean, think of how bad an apple looks after like 10
Exactly.
minutes.
Yep.
This has been like hours.
Like, the
We have
majority of
a
the fruit is fine, but where that, like, section that's been exposed to air is definitely...
But she likes it when it's turning bad, which is really we're in the prime, and that was delicious fruit.
was very nice.
Yeah. I don't have tea though.
What are you doing?
Do we have any fruit in our rations?
No, we've solved that.
Rations conventionally are dried concepts, so they wouldn't be going off.
Like jerky or dried fruit.
Yeah.
trail mix, as the Americans call it.
Raisins.
Let's
Biscuit browns, especially in the swamp.
let's just go towards her house. We'll go quietly. It says she don't like loud noises, right? Let's
You begin heading
gentle.
forwards towards the large shape in the mist, this building out in the distance. And the mists begin to swirl around you and get a little thicker as you're heading through. Balrick, Togrim, Lesley, it's not long before the other three are kind of hazy figures just to the side of you as you've had to divert around a small pond in the centre. And you suddenly find yourself looking around, and then you look ahead on the path that you're walking down, and there is a hunched over prowling panther that seems to be made of smoke as it wisps off into the mist, and it's just standing there. Meanwhile, Ximori, Tauri, and Aderyn, you're walking around this path, and you see the other group go around the other way of this pond, and suddenly you take a step, and you feel your whole world turn upside down as you spin and fall straight into the earth, and are suddenly encased in the earth.
We got the better end of the stick there. You have a cat. They have suffocation. Choose your money.
By the ground.
What do you do?
I have dark vision. Can I see?
Me too.
You are encased in earth.
Oh, okay.
You feel yourself moving through the earth, pushed through some force.
Can I stick my arm out to see if I can reach the surface?
You stick your arm out and you just feel it being dragged through the earth. You stick it up and you just feel earth. The other three of you, this panther is growling towards you, smoke teeth bared as hot coal eyes stare towards you.
Can I attempt to grab the other two just so we mostly stay together on the journey?
Make a strength check.
I will shout to the panther.
You will whisper to the panther.
Whisper. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I apologise. Whisper to the panther. We seek the great anti-blight route.
Roll a persuasion check. Ximori, you reach out and you throw both arms out. One of them misses Aderyn entirely, but you manage to grab Tauri's forearm, and you're pulling through the earth, holding on to Tauri.
Why am I doing the persuasion check? Why did I talk to the panther then?
Because you do it every time.
Every time.
You keep talking.
I know.
No one wants to hear it because your charisma is 6, but you keep...
Tauri and Aderyn, there is just earth passing through you. It's crumbling earth. Suddenly it's mud just caking over you, wisping through. You're lost in the dark, feeling different types of earth just go straight past you. There's clay all of a sudden that's bounce into before it slides smoothly over you.
Try and kind of go with the flow of the earth, but try and go diagonally to find a way out, as you would with a tide. Because I'm trying to think of how I would do it in a beach.
Make me a strength saving throw.
I didn't get a 0. It's even worse. It's a bounded, isn't it? So it loops back to the top.
Loops back around, yeah. Togrim and Lesley, you see Balrick put a hand out and try to approach this panther, issuing the name of the entity you're coming towards you, and the panther just hunches down and in a burst of smoke just leaps towards him before suddenly it turns into a swarm of bees that encases the trio of you. Swirling around you, you are lost in a swarm of yellow and black bees buzzing around you. You brace for the sting, and then suddenly you are thrown out of the swarm and you find yourself standing on the other side of the pond.
All three of us?
Yep.
Well, that wasn't too bad.
Meanwhile, Tauri...
I must have done something right. Yeah.
Tauri, Ximori, and Aderyn, you are moving through this earth, and suddenly it begins to change form. It feels tenser. It feels alive. It's a different material, and suddenly you are spat out of this large flower-like plant and stumble out onto the side, and you stumble and land at the feet of the other three on the other side of the pond as this plant just spits you out.
Do we see them come out of a plant?
Yep.
Wow, that was disgusting.
Weird.
That'll look a very pleasant gin.
It
I
was.
let go of Tauri's hand to pull the mud out of my eyes.
And you just had to deal with the flower from the looks of it.
Did we just come out of a flower?
Yeah, that. That's not that. We had a panther in front of us.
Did the panther kill you out?
All the bees did.
Did the ground...
He's the word of the panther.
What was that, Ximori?
Did the ground swallow you as well?
Oh, not right.
We could have just walked, right?
Speaking of which, you look up from where you are, and you see maybe 50 feet in front of you, still slightly in the mist, but clear as day nonetheless. An absolute mess of a hut. Circular at first glance, it definitely doesn't curve smoothly. The roof is planks, leaves and branches all tied together with vine and root. 2 windows flicker with firelight while being as crooked as a chain-paid mare. The chimney, which rises from the top, gently wafts lilac smoke, and the porch out the front is full of potted plants in various what constitutes pots, from wooden buckets long old and worn and rotting, to clay amphoras, and even in one location the upturned skull of what you think is a boar. Behind this porch is a wooden door which does not fit its frame, despite being cracked and bent with age, very gaps around the side, but wedged in tightly. It appears you are now in front of the Witch of the Woods hut. But I think there is a decent place for us to stop. So as you shake off whatever just happened to you, whether it was illusions or reality, and consider just what you're going to do as you approach the door of Auntie Blightroot's hut. We'll continue telling this story next time. But until then, see you later.